time to fix that part of the copper, because, I mean, we have knowledge that what we could help them to do to able to open back up the industry. It's very easy. So we have a problem with that, but otherwise, 90 of 100 we give them, so moving speedily to try to get this industry open back up.
Mr. Ferguson said they have a special plan to help them.
Distant lands our forefathers came, some seeking adventure, some bound in chains, through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage our freedom was gained. The heroes of lands in the sun, we vow to join hands and to focus on building one Caribbean.
Welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, welcome to our program On Target. As usual, as soon as we start this program, you pick up your telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socioeconomic issues trending. But most important, you could interrupt our program and introduce your own subject matter. We make full use of our democratic process. China, Cuba, a number of countries, Iran, Russia, they don't have the freedom we have. Freedom to express ourselves. Let us take it seriously. Let us be respectful to one another and recognize that you could share your opinions, but opinions, they are not facts. It's your opinion. We are coming on Real FM 91.9, Sister FM in Carriacou 92.9. Then we have on Facebook and YouTube. And we always welcome our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, Mama Can, Macken, all about, and those in Ticolo. Welcome to our program too. Yesterday we had a program that after when I end up in the rum shop, we had a number of people that had some dissatisfaction with my program. So I thought it necessary to go back and listen to what I said yesterday. It's important because sometimes your mouth runs faster than your brain, especially when you're speaking and not from a written script. So I went back to it because they take strong objection to the fact that I said I believe that Deacon Mitchell, the Prime Minister of Grenada, after less than 1 year in office, I expressed the opinion that he's the worst Prime Minister to face Grenada in the last 70 to 80 years. I had extensive discussion with one, and he felt that Deacon was young and we should give him a chance. I reminded him that the youth is between 14 to 25 based upon the United Nations standard. Based upon Deacon Mitchell's own policy, the youth for Deacon is between 15 to 35 because he decided to fire the Imani, who is over 25 years. So when you're 44, 45 years, you're a macho, big adult that is capable if you have the ability to manage anything. Maurice Bishop was 39 when he died. Eric Gary come in politics, I think 26. Walter Rodney when he's 20s when he had his PhD. And you have a whole group of younger people in leadership. But most of or some of them was involved in politics. The challenge we have in Grenada, we have 9 political virgins that we want to give a plane to operate. That plane is a jumbo with 100,000 people. All of them are juveniles, political juveniles. That is the challenge. It is not a question of the age. Some of them have 60 plus already. It is not the age. It is the fact that they are political virgins and political juveniles. It is the fact that they seem not to respect the elderly in their own party. So instead of using some of the elderly people as their senators and etc. to make ministers, they continue to grapple with all these inexperienced individuals. None of them do not have any serious success story, except the one that they put in charge of the political mischief, because they see him as a patriotic bourgeois. The fact that the leader of the party went to invoke Maurice Bishop's spirit. Bishop, come and help us. Bishop, we love you. Bishop, we miss you. That is gross immaturity. Any neophyte in spirituality and metaphysics knows that the manner in which Maurice Bishop died, you must only pray for his soul to be rest in peace. Maurice Bishop died under tumultuous circumstances. His spirit could be very vengeful. He was betrayed. He was traumatized. Maurice Bishop encouraged his troops to practice mock execution. So he thought by turning and look at them, they would soften their heart. Maurice Bishop led them away from religion because they claim that religion is the opium of the people. Yes, caller, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
How are you doing?
Great, man. Good mood.
Mr. Pierre, I have a comment to make.
Go right ahead.
There is a young lady in my community, which is a Grandma's House and Scheme, that got a little roadwork. The reason why the NDC people now want to disturb her from doing her work because the team she have, the majority of them are NNP. So the NDC now, who in charge of them, or we want to tell them they ain't doing the work properly. So most likely they might want to tell them they go to the next group, to do the work. This is not fair. And this is the people that are running to church on Saturday and Sunday morning, and trying to take out a bread from somebody else, more poor people, children, just the same. This is not nice. Let they hear me, I don't care.
Well, it's very important for people to express ourselves and say the things that are happening. It is a point to encourage Deacon Mitchell that he's going on the wrong trajectory.
Yes.
When election is over.
And they see people that would be with them, because they see the people that walking on the road now, they wear green jersey. But that is nothing. Everybody has to eat and drink, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah. Yes, caller, thank you for telling us that. And it's very important that people call and tell us that. You see, we love Deacon. We don't want Deacon go down the wrong trajectory. He is leading the wrong road. And people say, give him a chance. The man have a jumbo jet with 100,000 Grenadians in it. You can't take immature individuals who are not prepared to take advice to drive a jumbo jet. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good evening to you listening out there.
Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, we're going to just debate a little here. Mr. Pierre, a few months ago, before the election, you was hosting program and you was singing a different song, Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, I would like you to tell me, on what capacity are you hosting that program? Are you a political activist for the NNP, Mr. Pierre? Because, Mr. Pierre, the comment you make yesterday about the young man, Mr. Pierre, it is just 4 months and you're going to judge that young man in 4 months? I say I didn't got the word you said.
I said he is the worst prime minister that passed in Grenada in the last 8 decades. The worst prime minister.
And he just do 4 months.
And I was given the reasons why I say he's the worst. Maybe you didn't hear the reasons.
No, I didn't.
But I've been hosting. I've been on program for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
I came on program for one reason, and one reason alone. I started to go in the public, and the public started hearing my voice because I was dissatisfied that 70% of our children cannot meet the basic requirements in school.
So that's why you.
And that's why I came on program.
Okay.
And that's why I'm still on the radio.
But your program take a different turn.
Of course, it would take a different turn because you see, I'm in Tongue. I knew when I was in Tongue when Eric Gary built 28 schools in 13.5 years.
Yeah, that's
I was in Tongue when Maurice Bishop said you could plant weed and Fargo take 2 years in prison.
I respect that.
I'm in Tongue. So
I know.
I had the opportunity to see Ben Jones wave everybody. I used to speak to Uncle Ben regular. I waved with him when we waved too. He waved Pierre, he waved children, he waved everybody. And he did not go to prison.
You're not glass with all those guys.
Caller, I was in Tongue, so when Deacon Mitchell entered politics, the first I heard about this gentleman is he had deep pockets and a lot of contacts. And many people ask me to express my opinion on him, and I say I can't. I have to listen to what he says and what he does because he is brand new to the political arena.
Look, you make this statement.
He is brand.
So he's new.
Yeah, but so that is why prior to the election and even after election, I was studying him. I have reached a conclusion that he is the worst prime minister.
At this point in time, you reach a conclusion.
Yes, and I could tell you why I'm reached that conclusion.
Let me hear you, Mr. Pierre.
He's the first leader I know that used obscenity in front of mass crowd and encourage them to curse. He is the first leader he's the first leader I know of that watch a whole group of young people. Tell them he's going to make them prominent. Say to them, it was illegal and the government is lawless and I will make you prominent with a stroke of a pen. And immediately he reached in government. Less than 1 month after, he started firing these said people.
But Mr. Pierre,
I
understand that.
Caller, we mustn't joke with this country. When you hear we have politicians who turn their attention to politically victimize the people in the lower economic strata, we mustn't joke with that. We mustn't joke with that at all.
I know. Yeah,
Caller, listen. Caller, when we do that, we're going to unravel the social fabric of the society. You're going to have social decadence. You're going to have more crime, more sexual situations. Caller, we will not be able to solve it in years. So it is better for us to point out to Deacon now and hope that he change his trajectory.
So
if he don't, if Deacon don't change his attitude, Deacon reached to the Imani now, you know. On weekend, I was informed by somebody who attended the session that they informed them that if you over 35 years, you would lose your job in January. Now, what is the justification? What is the rationale? What is the explanation Deacon or any one of his ministers is giving for firing these people in front of Christmas? Tell me, Caller.
You have facts to back up that point?
Caller, you want more facts on that, Caller? Caller, you don't hear I tell you I was there. Caller, and I had a report where the individuals that they pung out the toe with a hammer and a broomstick. Caller, Bobby Clark was there. When the guy asked for a doctor, they called Nurse Gittins. Caller was in the courthouse in Grenville. And I heard the case when the castrate broke out. They asked him, do you know how they castrating a pig? He said, yes. Caller, I was in the audience when Morris Bishop, a few days after Siaga win election, called him a fascist ruler. I ain't tongue long.
I know you're in trouble.
I was there.
But Mr. Pierre, I think it's very unfair for you to make such a statement on the young Prime Minister.
Caller, I've not been...
When someone been ruling Grenada for 27 years.
Caller.
Huh?
Anytime you see people in politics,
Yeah.
and they go after the people in the lower economic group,
Chapter.
anytime you see they going after policies that affect these people, anytime you see they going after the old people in the community, anytime you see they disrespectful and very flippant when they're speaking about these people, that is dangerous grounds. Caller, we could have saved Grenada and saved Morris Bishop if Mr. Blaze and Ben Jones spoke out.
But
They didn't speak out.
Mr. Pierre,
So right now we could save Deacon. If we wait next 2 or 3 months when he can pay salaries, you won't be able to save him. But we could save him now.
yeah. But Mr. Pierre,
Caller,
I realize
caller,
you've been calling on
caller,
Bishop name regularly.
Caller, Deacon played job. When I spoke about it, not that I object that he played job, but I was objecting that he played job with oil oil. A number of calls tell me never use oil oil. Up to now, Deacon has not called on the nation young people to stay away from the use of oil oil.
But
Then
Mr.
what
Pierre,
manner of man is
That's
that?
our culture. They say that's our culture here, you know. The jab.
But caller, Deacon
That's what we've
didn't.
been promoting.
But if he didn't play with oil oil, why don't he call on the young men to play with what he play with? You see the conniving, sinister manner in which he functioned. That's why I refer to him. Caller, he did not. If you ask any nurse, any doctor, any pharmacist, they're going to tell you that our boys are using oil oil with too much regularity. In yesteryear, we used to play job once or twice for the year. Now we playing job every week. Our individuals going to we're going to play job. So we have some official job. So this constant use of oil oil on the bodies of our young men going to be a serious health hazard in the future. So if the prime minister of a country play job, and they tell me he accustomed playing job, and he accustomed playing job, and he playing with a substance that is not as medically dangerous, why don't he open his mouth and discourage them from playing with what they're playing with? You see how I was checking the videos?
Yeah.
That is how I analyzing the individual. So it means that perhaps he never used to play job, or he used to play with oil. But now that he is a prime minister, he's ashamed to say his oil he used, so they're trying to defend him.
Yeah.
So I said to him, you could use charcoal, and they'll have a way of grating the charcoal and mixing it up with oil, and it works. So he played jab. So his voice should be the most powerful voice. I have been saying that, but I am just an ordinary rustic of nondescript breed. Nobody studied it.
Mr. Pierre, with the Imani program in the last administration, there was a number of Imanis that was sent around the island to work in private entity, private business, Mr. Pierre. Supermarkets, for instance, they send workers there, and they was paid by the government. Are the present administration continue that at the moment?
The present administration seems to take a policy that they're going to fire all the money above 35 years.
So, no, the question I'm asking is the supermarket. When they send out
Well, you see, you have some information I don't know. If you say that, perhaps you know. I don't know that.
They was also paid. There was also people in different communities that were sent to the supermarket.
Caller, I don't know that. So if you know that, I don't know. So I'm saying to you what I understand from my Imani is that the government new policy is to get rid of anybody over 35.
Right.
So they expect their letter before Christmas.
Yes, okay. So I don't side with that. But what I'm saying with Imani, Mr. Pierre, it had its good, it had the advantage and disadvantage.
Caller, the Imani with us for a very long time. The NDC always criticize the Imani and always try to fire them. I have said before that the Imani is the best program instituted in Grenada to help our people to be more competitive on the job market. If the NDC cannot do better, maintain the status quo.
Right.
And if they could do better, do better.
But I see it as a good, Mr. P. I'm not running on the Imani.
No,
listen,
you see.
There is a lot of people, businessmen who have been benefiting from the Imani.
I don't know that. So I can't join you. I'm not taking issue with you. You know.
Huh?
I'm not taking issue with your statement. I saying I don't know that. All those I speak to, they don't work with private people. They work with government. Some of them in secondary school, some in primary schools.
But government had sent some of them to private business, like
I don't know that.
You don't know that?
No, I don't know that.
Okay.
So you see, I'm only speaking on what I know. Yeah.
Okay.
So I could challenge you. So I could challenge you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother. Thank you. We have to continue the discussion. If the NDC do not have alternatives, they do not have suggestions, I beg them, don't interfere with the Imani. Right now, you're not thinking straight. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, that man must understand the monies are trading cost for the people to go further. Yes, they used to send them in supermarket. And whoever they send them to, give them a stipend because the government give them a stipend. Let them understand that it is a training session to boost your humanity to get further on in your process. That you could go further on, like you could go and work in hotels when you're done your training and everything all right. That they continue and you get through. According to where you're training, the hotel might keep you, the supermarket might keep you, and them kind of thing. So they do that, but they're not going and work with private things. It was training. The Imani is a training course for everybody. Like the nurses, the Imani nurses are training. According to how they perform, they'll get a recommendation and they'll keep them as nurses and them kind of thing. That is the whole situation about the Imani. You're not going and work with people. Okay?
Okay, caller. Let me read this couple posting on Facebook. This sister is saying, Mr. Pierre, as a talk show host, please verify your information before repeating on air. Otherwise, I guess they want to say I'm involved in propaganda. What I said on radio is that the government seemed to have a new policy based upon the conversation I had with individuals on the weekend that anybody over 35 years that in the Imani, they would get rid of them. The individual was told that. They said, if where you are could pay you, they will pay you, but government will get rid of you. The individual says she's working for $1,400. She asked them, should I come back in January if I don't get a letter? They tell her, you will get a letter before the year's end. And she realized that they intend to fire her, as they said, by the end of the year. And I'm saying, when the government started 1 month after the government come into power, and they fired the women of Karakou, I sit down and I say, the government is going to go after the Imani program. And now they have arrived. So I'm saying, if the government don't have a suggestion, if they don't know what to do with these people, leave the Imani alone. Over the years, the NDC have criticized the Imani, mauled the Imani, fired the Imani. They apologized to the Imani. They told them in 2008 was a political mistake. It would never happen again. They say we're going to make you permanent. And now they're firing them again. So I am saying the Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell is speaking with forked tongues. And he's wrong. And he's on the wrong trajectory. Now if you like Deacon, tell him that. Don't let him go down the road until he crash. He have no experience in political management. And he playing out. Grenadians selected the individuals. They was brand new to politics. They was inexperienced. People say give them a chance. But under 1 year, they seems to be making rudimentary mistakes. It is wrong for you to lie, for you to not to speak the truth purposely to the people in the lower income group. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning.
Yeah, brother.
Mr. Pierre,
Yeah.
you say Deacon is the worst Prime Minister of Grenada?
The worst Prime Minister passing Grenada, unless you want to include Maurice Bishop, because Bishop jailed 3,000 Grenadians. 3,000 to 4,000 had to leave.
Mr. Pierre, listen to me. The best Prime Minister passing Grenada, you will say Kit Mitchell.
Eric Gary and Kit Mitchell is the two most successful.
After 35 years,
You see, you ask a question to answer
in
you.
this country, he spent 22 years in government, and he never paid the people their pension. The people have to take him to court, drag him to court to get a pension. The best Prime Minister in Grenada.
Caller, I don't think you understand. Caller.
I understand everything because
Caller.
they have to drag the government to court
Caller.
to get the pension.
You don't understand the pen.
I don't understand it well.
You don't understand the pension issue.
See,
Once you
people
making
have
that
to
statement,
to drag the government to court to get the money. The best Prime Minister in Grenada, we have to bring him in court to get the money. What kind of Prime Minister is that?
Caller, you ever read?
They say Prime Minister will lie to us. The NLP lie to us and tell us that all they get idle. And up to now, we can't see a drop of idle. They lie for us for 9 years. We can't get a drop of idle today. That's the best Prime Minister in Grenada. Bound to lie. Now, I hear he say he changed his mind. He don't resign again. What a bound to lie, man. I hear you want to for Prime Minister again. He lied us. He said we will never go back in this thing. He said that he last time. He lied us again. Bound to lie. Mr. Pierre, you have a good day.
You see, I'm giving you an opportunity to speak. And then you want to ask me questions and you don't want me to answer. But I want you to speak. Dr. Kit Mitchell is the most successful politician in Grenada and in the Commonwealth. The government announced that Grenada get oil. I believe Grenada have oil. Trinidad have oil. Guyana have oil. Grenada must have oil. But it's going to take time. Guyana took 12 to 15 years before oil started to drip out from the can. So you're going to have to wait. You may never get it, but there is a high possibility because Grenada have oil. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, caller. Welcome. Good afternoon.
Let me make Grenadian people know. When you're telling them the best Prime Minister, who takes government to court? Union just want to do what they want to do. Nobody will take government to court. Union just want to do what they want to do.
On the issue of the pension, sometimes I avoid this discussion because some people don't really understand the pension issue.
And you know what's going on?
Yeah.
They go on the block, enter here, they say, tell them, read the manual, and they go understand.
Yeah, sometimes they don't understand the pension issue.
Nobody not read, nobody not spell.
Caller, I don't even believe Deacon understood the pension issue. Now that Deacon is in government, he is practically begging for reform. He said, I go pay. And now he started to pay the pension. He realized the magnitude of his economic woes.
Prime Minister was understand what the past Prime Minister...
Yeah, he just understand. So he didn't understand before, so...
Use the word stating that St. Lucian bankrupt with NIS.
We have to be patient with them because they don't understand.
It seems like Grenada go bankrupt with NIS.
Yes, he's going to bankrupt us. Yeah.
And listen him. They only hiding him in the dark. But tell them put it to the light because he won't come in and say what he's saying now.
You see,
tell them read him.
Caller.
Tell them spell him. And tell them listen to him.
Caller, on the issue of pension, we have to be very patient.
People don't want to understand what is pension, you know. If they understand the reading manual and they understand it, Kit Mitchell in pension, they have to take the government to court. Take the government to court for what?
Yeah.
The government never tell Grenadian people he never pay.
Yeah, but I don't think the caller fully understand that, and I'm aware.
Tell them stop taking enter here and a day say and read.
Yes. And we still have to have a good sense of humor on this thing.
If we read and we understand, we don't talk stupidness like that.
Yes.
You go on the road here and they say it takes the government to court. What it take the government to court? The government would not give everybody, but he is the one that say he's going to give everybody the pension and leave a legacy behind before he make it exit.
Yeah.
Come and say it.
Yes,
so
caller.
you have to come and telling me the government go to court. The union choose to do it. It's not the government that to tell them to go. They choose to do it. So when they do that, the government would have paid. But you know what he have to do. He not jump to conclusion.
And the government did not appeal the case. I think the government searching for a settlement and a way out. I would have appealed the case, but the government did not do it. And I don't think Deacon understood the magnitude of the dilemma.
If this man have borrow money to pay what he get there, do you know how next year they don't get money?
Yeah. Yes, scholar.
These people and them not getting a dollar yet, you know.
Yes, scholar.
If you don't want to understand, only just you have to take them to court. Take who to court?
Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. Yes, these issues are very emotional issues and hot issues, and I think they have to be discussed more. And this is why I believe it is of utmost importance that the ministers of the government stop hide. Don't hide away from the press. Even if you engage the friendly press, those press people that is friendly with you, don't hide away from the press. The more you exchange, we discuss these issues and exchange ideas is better for us. If we don't, we're going on a slippery slope. So those of you who are mature and senior members of the National Democratic Congress, you have to pull your brakes. Help Deacon. He's going on the wrong trajectory. Perhaps he have to have his social media warriors and the Prince of Hate go in hibernation because they're not helping him now. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, call back.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, if my memory serves me right, in 1989, when GOT at the time, I can't remember the president there at the time, but I think it was in your brother. I'm not too certain. I'm subject to correction. But there was two people there at the time, a lady from Guelph. Mr. Pierre and Mr. Blaze, the same teachers was pressing Blaze to pay that money.
Caller, you made a statement like that before, and I wanted to tell you, you remember I told you I'm going to tell you another truth?
Yes.
And you didn't listen to another truth. I'm not saying what you said is not the truth, but you cannot twist up.
So who was the president?
So I think I'm in a better position to tell you another truth. So let me tell you another truth. The unions had discussion with the government. They came to an agreement. The government agreed to pay the union X, whatever the final agreement, signed, sealed, and delivered. It was before Christmas. The unions heard that the government have problems to pay the money. So the three union leaders then, Chester Humphrey, Lord Clarkson, and Clarice Charles,
Right.
the 3 union leaders asked for a meeting with Mr. Blaze and went to him. They said, we understand that you're having some challenges to pay us our money.
Yes.
So we come to you to find out what portion you could pay before Christmas.
Yes.
The union leaders realized the government may have problem, but it was saying, let the government give us a little percentage so we could satisfy our workers.
Yes.
Mr. Blaze chastised the union for listening to rumors. He said, as we speak, checks have been written for you. Why the unions is listening to rumors and propaganda? You see, we underestimate the unions in this country. Caller, let me tell you another truth, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Caller, let me tell you. Caller, no, don't stick in pin. I want the second time you come and you're running away from the truth. When you're dealing with me, I don't want us to run away from the truth. We have a nice thing going on.
Yeah.
So you see, the union was informed the government in trouble before Mr. Blaze knew in trouble. And 2 to 3 days after, Mr. Blaze called back the union leaders.
Right.
And he said, we can't pay you.
Right.
That is how it was. And right around the table there.
Eventually.
Caller, I
Hmm?
want you to go with truths. Remember, on this program, we deal with truths and opinion.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Pierre, he didn't sell shares to pay the money? Didn't he sell shares?
if you was in my classroom, I'm flogging you, know. If you was my student in my classroom, if you was my student in my classroom, I'm making stand up on the chair.
But Mr. Pierre, Mr. Blaze didn't pay the money, any.
Well, eventually he had to pay.
And what happened?
Well, nothing wrong. We get the union get the money. All the union concerned they get the money. You know?
And poor Blaze died.
Well, if Mr. Blaze dead, he dead. And Mr. Blaze was buried, and union leaders cried for Mr. Blaze. You know?
Yeah, he died.
They say he was a good man and he dead. Huh?
He died on the 19th of December, 1989.
So right now is the best time to talk to Dick Mitchell. Tell him you're going on the wrong trajectory. Tell him when he interfere with the Imani, he cross a red line. Once he touch the Imani, he cross a red line. We don't want one Imani must not be lost.
So, Mr. Pierre, I say all that to say that in life, what goes around, Mr. Pierre, comes around.
I tried to tell you already, stop this thing, what goes around comes around. So you telling me slavery going to come back again? You have to be careful with that.
Wow.
Yeah. You see, we have to know the truth in this country. We want to blame so much. I've heard a number of people try to blame Kit Mitchell and Clarice Charles and Michael Pierre and all them kind of thing. You know, they don't know the truth, but they want to run with propaganda. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good morning.
Yeah, great.
I'm not on the political issue. I'm just...
You could raise any issue you want.
Okay. I'm thinking about the young boys, and, well, mostly the boys, who I see roaming the street in a way that, as if they are not human beings. I want to know what can we do to try to help them, so at least they will do something that is important, and so that later on they would have a good life. I'm not on this political thing because I am thinking about every Grenadian youth. Sometimes I listen to the radio and I hear they talking about violence against women and girls. But do you know that there are some boys that has the same issue? How can we help them? That's what I am concerned about. I want to know how can we help them, and I would like for people all around to come together and see how we could help them. While I'm on it, another issue. When you look around St. Andrew and La Sagesse, our Grenadian people, some of them, are using the place like a dump heap. If you go up from Dunfermline to going to the road for Boulogne. All different garbage, including old fridge, old galvanized, even higher up. When you go down to Las Vegas, that beach where we could have picnic and so on, it is a shame. So I would like to know what can we do to educate our Grenadian people that they would keep Grenada clean. I want anybody that could help, let us see how we can help. This arguing about politics, I'm not part of it because I just want to know how we can help our people. Thank you very much.
Great question, sister. Great question, daughter. And when you come and ask about the boys, that's very important. But you cannot solve these problems without politics. Because I believe we should have shock therapy. That we must go back now and teach our children music. Most of the boys in the school, 5, 6 years old, they lack confidence in themselves. So we have to encourage parents to teach their children music in school. And if you treat the boys in one way and you treat the girls in one way, and you don't understand all of them are children, then you're going to end up with some of the challenges that you have. But it's a great question, and maybe we might have to use it as a whole topic. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, brother.
Yes, good to hear your voice.
Yes, I was on the spot when the union come to Mr. Blaze. And Mr. Blaze give them the money. Mr. Blaze tell them the worst kick to get is from a dying horse. He used the word 3 times for him, and in 3 days, Mr. Blaze dead.
No, Mr. Blaze died because his time come to die.
Yes.
Remember, when unions are fighting, unions don't care who dead. What the union concern is that the objective was attained.
Yes.
In 1989, the unions wanted the money.
Yes.
They went to Mr. Blaze initially and said, Papa, we hear you having little trouble to pay us, so tell us what percentage you could pay us now.
Yes.
Instead of Mr. Blaze saying, thank you for coming, he chastised them. They left Mr. Blaze's office with a tail in the lap. And remember, union leaders was afraid they support us too, you know.
True.
So when Mr. Blaze called back and said we cannot pay, the only how you could get this money is if we go back to Parliament.
Yeah.
Because you remember, Mr. Blaze, when he was challenged by his members, he prorogued Parliament. When Tillman Thomas was challenged, he prorogued Parliament. When Eric Gary was challenged, he called election. When Kit Mitchell was challenged, he called election. So Mr. Blaze put himself in a bind. He refused the option of the union.
Yes, true.
And then he went back to Parliament and get the money. And the union get the money. Mr. Blaze dead, 1 page done. We turn the chapter and we're ready to go again.
Bless evening. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, bye-bye.
So now, based upon the stand Deacon make, Deacon go embarrass his country. If the senior members in the National Democratic Congress, you all have to regroup, tell Deacon, don't touch the Imani, and inform Deacon to rescind the letters to give the women of Carrico and Pulse. Forget them men. Those women who give the letters, rescind the letters. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Just a correction to something I heard you say a while ago. The 3 union leaders were Chester Humphrey, Louis Clarkson, and Hudson Macfield.
No.
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
All right, okay, caller. Yes, this one say not asking, you're telling me. Okay, he said Hudson Macfield was the leader. Okay, could be. I thought it was Lord Clarkson and Carish Charles, and it doesn't matter. Hudson Austin. Hudson Phil, not Hudson Macfield. Yes, caller, you could be right. So it's important, and this is history, and that's how you may not see that written in books, but you will hear it from the people who were there. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, good
yes, my brother, welcome.
It's a bit, I don't hear, people going home. People going home live, get.
Well, at that stage, I think we have to call on Dick Mitchell to stop that.
Yeah.
What he's doing is wrong.
Exactly.
And it's not a question of Mickey Mousing.
Yeah.
We have to call on him and inform him that he's going on the wrong road. Stop.
Yeah, because you don't hear no plan the government have for the young people.
The government don't have any plan.
Have no
At
plan.
this stage, caller, I am convinced the government whooping. And they're whooping with hate.
Yeah,
they don't have a plan, so all they're doing is firing individuals.
I'm saying, what I'm finding strange is that people defending the wrong. And I always say, if you have a friend or your children in the wrong, you have to tell them about the wrong thing and try to bring them back on the right path. When you see what's the wrong thing going on, the injustice going on to people, and you call the program defending this, you are guilty as the person who doing the wrong thing. Right? Because see, when you have family that's working and their children, and their children have to, the family can afford to get money to send to school, buy food for them, that the children should have to drop out. And then what happened to that? So the person that side in with the wrong, they might girl children, they might boy children. The person who drop out, one of them could end up being your son-in-law or daughter-in-law. So it's you as per adult and supporters, you should want to see that every young person in society get a proper education. Because once they get a proper education, they could be a son-in-law, they could be a daughter-in-law. Right? And you cannot, I don't see why people should stand and defend the wrong thing. I always say in life, Mr. Pierre, the one person that stand up and talk about the wrong thing is the person that loves someone. But when you sit there and watch the wrong thing going on to people, and you defend the wrong thing, you don't love the person. And now why you doing that? You want the person to fall. But when people call and speak about the wrong things, everybody is criticizing, they don't hate the person, but they criticize the things that is doing, the injustice that is going on in the country among people. And so we want the government to be successful in whatever they do. I don't think anyone that's open the opposition want the government to fail. We want the government to do what is right and see everyone as human being. Don't see some as human being and some as nobody at all. So when people speak, they speak about the injustice and they want right things to go on to each and everyone, not some people. So Mr. Pierre, have a blessing.
Yes, let me read these two comments from Facebook. And it's from a partner Onisto. He says, I guess he's saying, as a senior citizen, you don't like change. And with the transformation, he just cannot adjust. So he decided to bash the government. Onisto must know that there is a statement circulating on social media, which I believe, and Dick Mitchell nor anybody in the NDC have not disassociated themselves from that statement. So it makes me believe it's authentic. Where Dick Mitchell said, we campaign on an issue of transformation, but it is not really transformation. It's restorative justice. So, Onisto, this is not about transformation. This is about restorative justice. And Onisto said in another post, I challenge you anytime on this program, but he said I'm rolling away from the challenge to debating. Onisto posts on Facebook under a false name, and he refused to put a picture. He can pick up the telephone and call the program. He's not calling the program. So he's asking for debate. On target, fear no challenge. So, Onisto, all you have to do, pick up the telephone and call the program. That's all. Or if you want to write, I've asked you a lot of questions, and you're not even answering that. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Well, it is alleged that the NDC is going to have infighting again.
But I don't think...
of the NDC. It is alleged, I understand the Minister of Mobilization want to put on a harsh measurement. He want to put on a harsh measures as the PRG, and they're telling him hold back. So they have a problem there. So I was surprised if Deacon had to prorogue Parliament again. That's industry history. It is alleged.
What?
And I want to know, Mr. Pierre, if the Ministry of Agriculture fall asleep. I don't find hearing much for the farmers around Christmas. I don't know if anybody could call and say, I don't know if they're gonna sleep.
You want to know if cocoa and nutmeg paying back pay?
Something?
No, they don't pay. I don't feel they're paying back pay. And I think the spice project finished. Within about 3 months, they finished the spice project. But I believe that, I don't know, maybe we have to call on them to find out what's going on. But right now, the issue is more concentrating on Dickens and his team leadership. They seem to going on the wrong trajectory. In a discussion in the Caribbean, where Caribbean leaders was trying to sort out intra-island travel, Deacon decide by the end of the year, if the Caribbean leaders will settle that, he going to rent to plane. He did not come up with his suggestions to make it successful, you know. And I think the Prime Minister of Antigua and others took objection to his statements in a very flippant manner. He said by the end of the year, if they don't settle that, he is going to rent to plane. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
I want to tell the caller that talk about agriculture. They start the program, they start the farmers program, and they close it on the foot of this month.
It's closed on already?
Yeah, on the foot.
So he finished then?
Yeah. After exercise officer, the officer told me they might open it next year.
So they close it on before Christmas?
Yeah, don't tell you the facts, you know, Mr. Pierre. They close the program down on the 4th of this month. Okay.
Well, yeah. So, caller, they start the farmers program and they close on that already. Yeah. Yes. And we see somebody say duty president in 1989 when Blaise had to pay the money to teachers was Clarice Charles. Mr. Pierre, let's not forget the government had to use barbed wire to stop people demonstrating in the town. Well, that is not directly true. You had demonstration, but when they was going up to the courthouse, they had barbed wire. So you could have demonstrated, but the police did not want you to go up to the Parliament building. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
yes, caller,
we
welcome.
need to get facts straight, eh?
Yes, go right ahead.
Now the barbed wire issue was not during the Blaise era. That was during the 1990 to 95 administration.
Caller, they had some barbed wire in Mr. Blaise era.
No.
All right.
I'm telling you, going up to the Parliament by the courthouse.
Caller, under which, okay, let me just ask a question. Under which government the bill was passed to give politician pension?
Under Blaise.
That is when they had the barbed wire.
No, sir.
Okay, let's not argue again.
Your brother was the president at the time.
Caller, do you have some information? I tell you, I'm in tongue long.
Yeah, well, you in tongue long. I'm just telling you what is the facts.
All right, okay.
If you want to be factual,
okay. All right, thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, thank you, caller. Yeah, you know, you have some little tiny details that we don't want to distract the conversation. Because you have some tiny details. During Mr. Blaise's era, they realized after the revolution, Eric Gary and them had no pension to get. No politician had pension to get. So then they decide, no, we have to put things in order. And then they decide that after 2 terms, politician would get pension. So Mr. Blaise's term would have covered during the time that he spent in the Gary period, and that is when the bill was introduced. Around that time, the union was fighting for another issue, so they coincided with that. They wasn't against it, but they were saying if you could do that, you could do that too. Yes, caller, welcome. Okay, so this was some, so you know, small details We don't want to distract the conversation, but the caller, it was telling us when the barbed wire was placed. And they used to call it the barbed wire law. Unions always demonstrating and flexing their muscle and using the power. And that would continue to happen. We can take a caller again. All right. So one of the things that we're concerned about is the present trajectory of the Dick Mitchell regime. They have been in government for less than a year, less than 6 months. But it seems some of the actions they are taking is directly against the people in the lower income group. All politicians in Grenada put some emphasis on helping the people in the lower income group. It appears Dick Mitchell is fighting against the people in the lower income group. 600 people have lost their job. 600 people that were paid by government has lost their job from the 23rd of June. This is significant. All these people working for under $2,000 a month, or the majority of them, is not making $2,000 a month. And they lost their job. These are the people in the lower socioeconomic group. This group, when they are unemployed, you could have serious social decadence. That is the group that all political leaders want to attach to and fight for and make the conditions better. We have the Imani program that has been a thorn in the flesh of the NDC. I don't know why they hate the program. But in 2008, they changed the name of the program and they fired half of the individuals in it. They promised to give them $1,000. And that during that time, these people turn and they vote for NDC. And immediately when NDC win, they go after the old people and they go after the Imani. This last election, NDC did the same thing. They promised to make these people permanent. And immediately, 1 month after election, the letters in Carriacou start to go out. And they start to fire the women of Carriacou. It's not that they don't fire in Mantu, you know. But we ain't calling them money. Because 60% of the household are led by women. When Mami Moui, family fini. When you fire hard-working, dedicated, committed women, tears roll in the family. Panic set in. There are instances where the man loses his job and the woman loses his job. And the woman loses her job. Now, what is going to happen to the children in the school? And it seems that the National Democratic Congress is void of compassion. And that is why we say the Dick Mitchell government and his leadership is the worst that we ever see in Grenada. In under a year, he has reached a stage where he is considered as the worst government. And in only 1 year. One have to wonder what would happen later on if Dick Mitchell don't change the direction that he's going. We're back with you again tomorrow between 12 and 1 when we have another program and we punch. And we hope Onisto would respond to some of the questions that we ask him on the program. Thank you.
From many distant lands, our forefathers came, some seeking adventure, some bound in chains. Through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage, our freedom was gained.